Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Let's Go Sportsball podcast. I'm Ron, joined by my co-host Owen. And let me tell you, this weekend, just like last one,
Dear God.
it has been absolute mayhem.
For one league in particular.
For one, just like it was last week. This one, we're going to cover a little bit more on the NFL later on. First off, we're going to start off with NBA. We'll get to MLB, and we'll get to the NHL. Finish off with the NFL, like I said. And also, happy St. Patrick's Day to everybody.
Yep.
You dressed up very well for it, bud.
Yeah, this is my dad's. He got it like an auction, and if I mess this sweater up, he is probably going to kill me. So
You didn't have to say it was your dad's. You could have said it was yours.
Well, yeah, but I don't want to lie.
But starting off in the
all
NBA,
the other ones that I wear are mine. Okay, leave me alone.
But starting off in the NBA, a couple of things. First off, I want to get this out of the way. Steph Curry has proven himself very well, and what he has done what he has done in the NBA, it's hard to argue that he's one of the greatest three-pointers there is.
Yeah, he has earned that spot as one of the best of his generation, and possibly one. And I personally think he's one of the best of all time. That's just me.
That's your opinion.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is him hitting 20,000 points just over the weekend, which was absolutely amazing to see him do. Of course, as we spoke last week, we talked about LeBron hitting 50,000 points, but Steph Curry is going to catch up at some point. He's still got a while to go.
Yeah.
So he's going to do that. Also, with news on Steph Curry, Steph Curry has accepted a role with his Alma Mater, Davidson College, as assistant general manager for the basketball programs. University officials have told reports, told ESPN and everything. That's something I think will be great. It just depends on what they're going to do, what they have plans for the basketball program and everything. So
Yeah, Steph Curry, with his pedigree, he could probably work out really well there.
I think it's going to work out great. He's going back to his alma mater, just like how some of the others have done, how some other people, other professional basketball players or former professional basketball players have done. I think it will be a great one for him. We'll
Absolutely.
see how Davidson County does, or Davidson County, that's a freaking Davidson College does.
There you go.
I would love to see them. Succeed very well.
Oh, yeah,
especially.
definitely.
So
Yeah, especially with you have one of the best players of all time at the helm.
Yeah.
So hey, you know what? At this point, it's like, hey, we'll take it home. So in other news, the Mavs could be forced to forfeit games due to injuries and NBA salary cap rules, which is crazy. They've been dealing with a lot of stuff lately. Especially after the blockbuster trade for swap of Doncic and
Davis.
I work till 3 in the morning. So
I know you say this
every week because I work till 3 in the morning every week.
I understand, but after
Quit
that
bullying me, Ron. But yeah,
after that trade,
after
it's
Davis getting injured. I think he's still injured.
As far as I'm concerned, he's still injured.
Yeah, the unibrow is suffering big time here.
Yeah, and so are the Mavs. That's the problem with it, is that the Mavs thought they were going to get a good player, but I knew it was something that was going to hurt them in the end as well.
Yeah, you're losing a guy who's been one of if not your best player over the past few years. Dude, he's amazing, and you just trade him for Davis. Davis isn't a bad player, but it doesn't make sense. It's like trading Connor McDavid for Brandon Hagel, and I like Hagel, but I wouldn't say I wouldn't say it's worth that much, but I remember thinking to myself, this trade is going to end up lopsided in the it's either going to be Doncic crumbles like a graham cracker and nobody wins, or Davis just isn't as good, and Doncic is doing well.
So in my opinion, after watching some of the highlights from different games, Doncic has actually done. It seems like he's doing a lot better.
Oh yeah,
over
that's
at
what I've
Lakers
seen,
because
too.
he wasn't. He doesn't have. He has the teammates in the Lakers that he didn't have when he was at the Mavericks.
Yeah.
So he is doing, like, if not 5 times better, he's doing 10 times better.
Oh my
than
God,
what
yeah,
he did at the Mavs.
He's been a monster over there. Great asset to LA. That's going to make them a very, very scary opponent going forward into the postseason.
And of course, right now, Lakers. While we're saying on the Lakers
Speaking
topic,
of which,
we have both seen a conspiracy theory that it seems weird that LeBron James keeps getting injured.
Yeah, you sent me this. I remember this.
It's crazy to see something like that, but they're saying that he's kind of gotten different. It's kind of gotten bad. Like, he'll get injured latter half of the season, but somehow he comes back as soon as they get to the playoffs. So it seems like he's doing that on purpose, but who knows? I didn't see him.
We're not InfoWars. We don't be spreading conspiracies out here.
So, but
all I'm saying, and I think that's kind of weird because, I mean, like, if he's just deciding I don't want to play until the postseason and then suddenly he'll be really good in the postseason, I don't know about that because, I mean, looking at over the past few years, the Lakers have been kind of mediocre in the postseason. I mean, they haven't been, like, great. Okay,
they've been decent.
Mediocre's not a good term.
I was going to say, they've been decent.
They haven't been bad, but they also haven't been, like, they also have not been, like, just out, like absolute dominant forces as they usually should.
Speaking of Luka Doncic.
Oh, yeah, they have the game up there. We have basketball up there right now.
So, I will say this, breaking news right now, as I can see, and this is just from getting it at this time, Florida Gators have beaten Tennessee to win the first men's conference tournament, their first men's conference tournament in 11 years. And as you can see by his reaction, it was against the Tennessee Volunteers. So, but Tennessee, I think, still has. All right, bud, enough.
Wow, that actually hurt.
Yeah, that's what you get. But Tennessee, I think, still has a chance of making it. Yeah. And, of course, it is March Madness time, so anything can happen.
Yeah, and what sport was that you said?
That's NCAA basketball.
Okay, because I was about to say, because I was thinking to myself, wait a minute, but I thought it was baseball for some reason. I was like, wait a minute, we already beat them in baseball. What is this?
And the selection committee, or the selection show, actually starts tonight as of this recording at 7 o'clock.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be, I cannot wait to see the 64 teams that get in.
Yeah.
It's going to be a fun one.
Let's go Sportsball.
Speaking of playoffs and March Madness, this is technically not a part of March Madness. This is a part of the NBA. As of 5 days ago from this recording, the standings in the playoffs as they would stand, how it would play out, is in the
playoff picture, in other words.
Yeah, playoff picture as it would stand.
Great way to extend that into like 5,000 words there, Ron.
As it would stand as of 5 days ago, playing in the play-in tournament would be, in the Eastern Conference, would be the Miami Heat and the Chicago Bulls. And then you will have the Atlanta Hawks and Orlando Magic.
Did you just say Orlando Hawks?
No, I said Atlanta Hawks.
For some reason I heard Orlando Hawks. I was like, hey, wait a minute. That don't sound right.
They would play in there. Winner goes on and gets the 7th seed. Winner of the 9th and 10th ranked teams, which is currently right now Miami and Chicago. The winner of that one would face the loser of the 7-8 game, or 7th and 8th seed game, which would either be Atlanta or Orlando. Winner of that one gets the 8th seed. Over on the western side, the 9th ranked team, or should I say the 10th ranked team, is the Dallas Mavericks.
Yep, the Mavs.
At 9th, you've got the Sacramento Kings.
8th, you got the Clippers, and 7th, you got the Timberwolves.
So that's how the playoff tournaments would work. Playoff tournament, how it is basically it's just a way to get in. So the winner...
Could I just say that for a second?
Yeah, go ahead. So the winner of the 7-8 game automatically gets put in. The winner of the 9th and 10th ranked team has to go up against the loser of the 7th, 8th ranked game, and it's craziness. Now let's
Then of course you have the first seeds in each conference. Sorry to interrupt.
No, you're good. That's where I was going to go to next.
Oh, hey, how about that? So first in the East should be no surprise for us. We got the Cleveland Cavaliers at number 1, and as of
currently right
now they are still first. Sorry, what I just looked at was outdated, so I have to look at
it's still updated because they're still playing right now.
Okay.
They are 56-10. They're first in the East, but not only that, they're first in the NBA as well.
Yes.
So the first ranked teams get a first round bye. So they don't have to play. Well, they don't have to play in the play-in tournament, but they still have to play a game at some point.
And then the first seed in the West is the OKC Thunder. I mean, I'm liking this. I like to see the Thunder there. I mean, after all the crap that happened with them moving from Seattle, I mean, it's good to see success in that city.
Yeah. Then you go on to the Eastern Conference.
Let's just keep with the East. I shouldn't have switched like that.
You're good.
So
I
then,
did the same thing.
Second seed are the Boston Celtics.
They also get a somewhat first round bye or the play-in tournament bye.
Yes.
So they will play the 7th seed. Cleveland Cavaliers at this point.
Cleveland?
I was trying to think there for a minute. Cleveland Cavaliers would play the 8th seed, whoever wins the 8th seed in that. So you start out with basically 10 teams, but you end up with 8 to start the actual playoffs.
So the third seed are the New York Knicks. Now, I know there are plenty of jokes we can make about them, but
they've been decent this year, but
they haven't been too bad.
If they didn't have Jalen Brunson, they would not be as good as they are.
Oh yeah, Jalen Brunson, he's on. I almost called him Jalen Blunson. I can't call him that. That ain't correct. Fourth seed are the Milwaukee Bucks. Giannis doing just a great job.
Oh, yeah.
You got the Indianapolis Pacers at the 5th seed. Then 6th are the Pistons, which is pretty surprising in my opinion. I mean, because they've been terrible over the past few years. I mean, they were pretty rough, but now they're not doing too bad. And you know what? I can't hate too much. And so that's the Eastern Conference. Then you got the West.
As we said, or as he said earlier, first seed in the West is the OKC Thunder, Oklahoma City Thunder. The second is the Denver Nuggets. They have been really great this year.
Yeah, I mean, how can you not be good with Jokic?
Third is the aforementioned Lakers. Los Angeles Lakers is third. Fourth is the Memphis Grizzlies, which is kind of a little bit surprising to me.
Yeah.
Fifth, you've got the Houston Rockets. Sixth, this is pretty low in my opinion. In sixth, you've got the Golden State Warriors. They have not been the same since they had lost Klay Thompson.
Oh no, definitely not. I mean, like that line of that decimated them. That's basically just taken away a lot of their magic there.
So,
and not the Orlando Magic.
I'm still sticking to what I had said earlier in our earlier episodes and everything. Cleveland Cavaliers going to the finals, and I'm sticking by it that they are going to win the championship.
Yeah. I'm going to have to agree on that. I mean, I think it would be a cool final to see them and in LA face off. I think that would be an awesome final. That would be great. I just want to see, like, you know, and LeBron gets to play against his former team, and Cleveland gets to play against a team that what am I even saying anymore? He pulled something up, and I kind of lost what I was saying.
We both got distracted.
And Cleveland's playing against a guy that spurred them a lot, so, you know.
And Cleveland might lose their 16-game win streak today.
Oh, God. I need more sleep. Okay.
Moving on to the MLB, of course.
I need to not work so late.
Of course, moving on to the MLB, there's not much going on around there. They're still in the spring breakout, spring training, whatever you want to call it. They're still currently going on with that. And a lot of the teams are already announcing their starting day pitchers. I know for Pittsburgh, the Pittsburgh Pirates, Paul Skeens no doubt that he was going to start, in my opinion.
Oh, dude, yeah.
He is the official opening day starting pitcher for the Pittsburgh Pirates. But in major news, this is huge, and this is huge for New York.
It's going
Yankees,
to do
doubt.
a lot of damage for the Yankees.
Understandable. But this is breaking as of like a week ago or so. New York Yankees ace Gerrit Cole will undergo Tommy John surgery. As of this time, it was like a week ago, so the next day after that, about the 10th. So he got Tommy John surgery on the 11th to repair a torn right ulnar collateral ligament, and he will miss the 2025 season.
That's going to be an extremely hard loss for New York. I mean, everybody's going to be, everybody's going to be like, yay, New York is dying. But it's like, if you're New York, you are sweating heavily. Because, I mean, he's been one of their best players for a while. And, I mean, he was a key piece to helping them get to the World Series last year. So, with all that in mind,
16 games.
I mean, it's going to be a... It's going to be hard. It's going to be a hard road for New York heading in. I mean, I don't think they're going to be like the worst team in the league, but they're not going to. But their aspirations are certainly going to be falling now that they've lost one of their better players.
We'll see what happens. I think New York, according to one of the Flanagan's co-owners and New York Yankees fans, Mike, he even said that he thinks Gerrit Cole might come back in the playoffs. At least that's what, Mike, that's what you said. Like, the team said he may come back in the playoffs. So it's a possibility.
He's going to pull a Kucherov, be injured, and then come right back.
We'll see what happens. I think if he does come back in the playoffs, that is going to help them a lot.
That could be, and I mean, if he comes back, that could be dangerous. But also at the same time, he could be a little, he probably might not be the same if he does come back. Because, I mean, the Tommy John can take you out for a while.
Yeah. Well, that's why he's out for the whole season.
Yeah. And, I mean, even if he does come back, I mean, you run the risk of him just not being the same player.
Who knows? We'll see what happens. I'll have, just like how Shane Bieber last year had to get the same exact surgery. If you don't know who Shane Bieber is, he's one of the starting pitchers for the Cleveland Indians, Cleveland Guardians, whatever you want to call them.
Call them the Guardians, man. It's not that hard.
I will call them the Indians no matter what. But they are... Shane Bieber had the same exact thing, had Tommy John surgery. He did not play for a majority of the season last year, but they're saying that he's supposed to come back this year. We'll see what happens. Hopefully, he will be just as good, but that all depends when the season starts.
In other news, another really big news.
For you.
Yeah. So the Tampa Bay Rays, they've been dealing with a lot with their stadium because of Hurricane Milton destroying the roof of Tropicana.
Was it Milton or Helene? It was the recent one, so Helene. Because it's the same one that hit us.
I'm trying to remember. No, I think whatever. It was a hurricane, screwed up Tropicana Field, roof literally broke and everything. So that was his major loss, and it came out recently from the owner Stu Sternberg that the Tampa Bay Rays have apparently scrapped the plans for a new ballpark in St. Petersburg. This. I don't love to see it. I don't love to see it because the Rays just cannot. They can't have any luck in this world, man. It's like they have a good baseball team and then it crumbles because one player's a despicable human being, and then all of our guys are injured and we're sucking and stuff like that. And now our stadium, which was already really not that good. I mean, Tropicana is not a good baseball stadium. It's kind of crappy, and it's already hard to get to because you have a main bridge that you would usually use that now under construction, and you can't really get to the freaking place and stuff like that because Tampa traffic is absolutely abysmal. If you've been to Tampa or live there, that traffic in there is about as tolerable as a mosquito bite on your eyeball, and then you're just I don't know. I didn't have anything for that. Leave me alone. And so with this in mind, it's gonna be hard and it's worrying. I mean, at the end of the day, they need that arena to be built in Tampa. I don't know where. I don't care where. It needs to be in Tampa because people are like, oh, nobody cares about baseball in Tampa Bay. I'd argue that's not the case. It's because the arena is impossible to get to and stuff like that. So if they had it in Tampa with the Buccaneers and the Lightning, then it could work because Tampa Bay is a passionate sports city. They love the Bucks. They love the Lightning. They love the Rowdies. They love hat tricks because that place is an amazing sports bar. Seriously, I love their pretzels. But it's mind numbing, and but the owner won't do it because he sucks. So, yay Sportsball, screw my life.
And that's why I kept silent because I have no say in this. So that's why I let him have it.
Yeah.
But hopefully they do find success. I wish the best to Tampa Bay.
Bring back Wade Boggs. Bring back Evan Longoria.
Now, moving on to the NHL, I don't really have much for the NHL. There's not much going on, especially with the latter half of the season happening right now.
But of course I do.
Let's just say the Columbus Blue Jackets could be a little bit better right now. They haven't been on a very hot streak after the Stadium Series and everything, so hopefully they'll get a little bit better this year.
Yeah, they've been a bit up and down, especially after because they took a loss to a certain team. You may have heard of them. You may have heard of them. They're called the Tampa Bay Lightning. Lightning win over.
Y'all got lucky.
Okay, keep telling yourself that. But yeah, really? I mean, why? Oh, that's why. So the Ottawa Senators are currently first in the wild card. Jesus, the Senators, okay.
And the Rangers.
And the Rangers.
We lost to Columbus lost to the Rangers last night.
How do you lose to the Rangers? Anyway.
That's what I'm trying to.
Even Montreal is winning. Oh my God.
Yeah, we got shut out again at home.
You poor fool.
This is what happened last time in 2020. If you remember, we lost. We didn't do very well after a certain point in the season, and did make a comeback and make the playoffs. So
yeah, and then you beat the crap out of the Leafs in the round robin, and then in 2020 you lost to another team. So you lost to another team. You might have heard of them. So you might have heard of them, Ron. Ow! That's my hair.
Watch it.
All right, continue.
But who knows what could happen? Yes, Columbus Blue Jackets are out 2 spots. I still have hopes with us.
And the Lightning have jumped up to the second spot.
Technically tied for
Atlantic.
second.
Oh yeah, they're tied for second. But hey, yeah, at second, yeah, that team, you might have heard of them. Ron. Have you ever heard of them? Tampa Bay Lightning. You might have heard of them, Ron.
You better back up. You better get back up before you get smacked. Jeez, I think Washington is like Washington and Winnipeg are like the best teams. Both of them are at the top of the Eastern and Western with 96 points.
That's insane, man.
In my opinion, both of those teams in each division or in each conference and division are the teams to beat.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I would say those are the 2 teams that are going to be in the finals of the Stanley Cup.
I don't know. I'm crazy to think of happened. We'll have to see. And speaking of Washington, with a white hot Ovi, as of this recording, he is 8 goals away. He is 8 goals from the record. From breaking? He's 8. I'm sorry. The thing that I'm reading is not very
accurate.
Accurate.
I don't think he's 8.
It doesn't say if he's 8 goals from breaking the record or if he's 8 goals from tying it. So I'm just gonna have to see real quick. But I think Alex Ovechkin, man, he's been on a tear this year. After last year where he had a terrible season. Okay, 887.
So 8.
Yep.
8 away from breaking.
8 from break.
The record.
8 to break.
Alex
Ovechkin, man, after last year where he was very slow, he wasn't scoring as much, he was kind of just invisible on the ice. He really took that to heart, and he's come back to become, the Ovechkin that we would typically expect. He's not even he's nowhere near the youngest person on his team, and yet he's still scoring like he's in his prime. It's no wonder why he has been one of the best players in the league. I mean, he's second overall in goals right now. He's about to break it with like 8 goals. I mean, he's going to break it soon, man.
I'm telling you right now, he is going to break the record.
That is the coldest take I've ever heard in my life. That is very. Unless he gets injured, there is no way he's not breaking.
You better knock on wood for that. Because I don't want to see Ovechkin get injured. As much as I love the great one and his record that he has, I want to see Ovechkin beat that record. Yeah. But we'll have to see how it goes. There's still how many more games left in the season? There's still quite a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be honest. Like even though Alex is not, even though Gretzky is still going to be the GOAT after this, because I mean, you have all those records and stuff like that. You know, you have literally like 61 records, I think. And even though he's now going to be going down to like 60 or so, he's still the GOAT.
Oh, no doubt.
Like, it doesn't matter. I mean, nobody's coming anywhere close to his point record. I mean, like, even if he never scored a goal, he would still have that many points, and it probably wouldn't even be close. So, at the end of the day, Ovechkin, he's breaking that record no matter what.
No doubt. So, what other stuff do you have?
Another thing is that the Las Vegas Golden Knights have re-signed Adin Hill to a 6x6, a 6-year, $6.25 million AAV. Now, I'll be honest, I feel like that might be a bit of an overpay. Like, I mean, 6 by... Here's,
a little bit.
No, hear me out.
Yeah.
Like, 6x6 is a bit much, but I mean... Like, looking at what Adin Hill has done for that organization, I mean, as a journeyman, oh my God. I mean, the 2020, I don't know if you saw his 2023 postseason, but started off with Logan Thompson getting injured, then Laurent Brossoit got injured, and then in came Adin Hill, and I remember I made a post, like a story post on Instagram where I was like, well, Vegas is screwed. That was, like, I've had a lot of bad predictions in my time. I've had a lot, but yeah, that might have been my worst. Because he came out of nowhere and was an absolute beast in net, helped Vegas win that cup, and I mean, he's been an outstanding goaltender over ever since he got his start, so I think this is well-deserved and stuff like that. It would have been nice to see them keep Logan Thompson because he was a beast in net too, and I mean, he's amazing in Washington, but you know what? I mean, I'm happy to see Adin Hill get that kind of extension. It's what he deserves. Yep. And also, big news from, let me just see here.
Make sure you get your
stuff right. I'm getting there. So, Ilya Kovalchuk, former NHL...
I haven't heard that.
It's like Obi-Wan from Star Wars being like, Ilya Kovalchuk. Now that's a name I haven't heard in a long time.
I was going to say, it's been a while since I've heard that name, so...
Yeah. I mean, Kovalchuk, he was the first overall pick by the now defunct Atlanta Thrashers in 2001.
What?
Yeah, back in 2000.
24 years ago. Oh, God.
He's 41.
I was too...
You're old.
I was barely... In 2000, when did they usually have the draft? So...
What do you mean?
Later half
they usually have that like the off-season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What, the latter half of the... Close enough. I was still young. I was about a year or 2 years old when he was drafted. Yeah, you were not even thought of.
Yeah.
Sorry, bud.
Scored. Yeah, hey, screw you too. So in his entire hockey career, he scored 443 goals in 926 games played, 433 assists, and recorded 876 points. The last season he played was with the Moscow Spartak in the KHL, and the last NHL season he played was with the Washington Capitals. Ironic.
Yep.
Where he played 7 games and scored 1 goal. So I mean, obviously, if you can't tell, he carried that team.
He did an amazing job throughout his career.
Unbelievable. It sucks he never got to win the cup.
Still, yes. It does
sucks.
stink. It does suck, but he is a Hall of Famer. I did that.
I don't know about that. I would like to see that. I don't know, but I don't think that would be too far.
But what is the remaining for him?
So with Kovalchuk's retirement, there are now only about there are only a few remaining Atlanta Thrashers players still around playing hockey, and of them are Evander Kane, who is currently playing for the Edmonton Oilers, Zach Bogosian, Lightning legend. Yay.
I think
the Lightning, you may have heard of him. Lightning legend Zach Bogosian won the Cup with us in 2020. I think he was the first Atlanta Thrashers player? No. No, I'm stupid. I'm thinking about somebody else. Leave me alone. Currently playing for the Minnesota Wild. All right, some of these names are going to be a little tough to mention. Patrice Cormier,
I would say Cormier.
the LHSB in Canada.
I don't know what that is.
Rob Schremp playing for the OSHL in Canada. Spencer,
be careful you don't say shrimp.
Old Shrimpy Rob. Shut up. Spencer Makachek, that's a dope name. Playing for the DEL League in
Germany.
In Germany. Paul Postma playing for DEL. Wow, Paul Postma still playing? Wow. Carl Klingberg in Liga in Finland.
La Liga.
Yeah. Arturs Kolda playing in Slovakia, and Alexander Burmistrov playing for the KHL.
So there's only.
I love the Thrasher sweaters, man. It sucks to see that they moved, but I like seeing that Winnipeg is at least good.
So if you look at it, only 2 of them are still in the NHL.
Yeah.
Every other one is in a different country.
Europe or something. Well, I mean. You do have Cormier and Shrimpy Shrep playing in Canada.
That's what I was saying.
Look. Okay, I didn't.
That's what I was saying. It's 2. You have 2 of them in the NHL, and all the other ones are playing in different countries because Canada is technically a different country. So, yes.
Well, no, I know, but the NHL is mainly.
Yes, but still.
Who gives a crap? Anyway, all right, whatever.
Where are the main teams? A lot of the major teams in NHL.
We're not getting into this. I don't want the Canadians to come down and kill us. So only 7 teams remain from the Seattle Kraken's expansion draft following the trade deadline because a lot of them got traded. And
7 teams or players?
Players. Look, Sire, shut up. So all those players are Jamie Alexiak, Adam Larson, Cale Fleury, Jordan Eberle, Joey Decord, Vince Dunn, and Jared McCann.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of them got traded. And speaking of the Kraken, they actually recently got themselves a record of the fastest goal in NHL overtime history against the Montreal Canadiens. Now, this was a crazy one.
My question is, how did he get that big of a start? Look at this. As soon as the puck is touched,
as soon as the puck was touched, let me see real quick. It was Chandler Stevenson in the faceoff dot, and he managed to log it on up to Brandon Montour, who sprang out, got a great breakaway, put it right past the tendy. It was a beautiful goal. 4 seconds, the fastest goal in NHL overtime history, and I gotta say that is insane.
And it was top shelf, wasn't it?
I believe so. Let me watch the clip again.
Let's say it was top
there
shelf.
There goes,
because if you look at
it. No, I think it might have
it was either side or top shelf.
Yeah, I think it was side. I think it was side.
When we talk about top shelf, that means anything above the goalie's shoulders.
Yeah, so another
5-hole is right between the legs, which is always the fun ones. 5-hole.
No, I know what 5-hole is.
I know, but
giggity. So another thing that happened was Jonathan Quick got re-signed by the New York Rangers for a 1-year, $1.5 million. And I don't think that's that bad of a deal. I mean,
well, that was 4 days ago, and look at what happened yesterday. As of this recording,
he
shut us out.
Yeah, I mean, Jonathan Quick, man, he's been. After having a really rough stint with the Kings later on before he got traded. I mean, it's hard to see because he was. In his prime, you couldn't get past him.
Oh my gosh!
Yes. That's 2012, 2014 campaigns for Quick. He was a brick wall. There are few few goalies that were able to top guys like him. And in New York, he's been a godsend. I've always loved Jonathan Quick. He's always been one of my favorites.
In my opinion, he's probably the one holding up the team right now.
Okay,
Could be wrong.
Okay, don't be dissing Shesty. Shesty has really not been that bad. At some points, it's because there have been points where it's because he's been hung out to dry by the defense. I mean, Shesty earned that contract as one of the best goaltenders.
Yeah. But Jonathan Quick.
Jonathan Quick, man. I mean, hey, all I'm saying is I would not say no to a Quick sweater. From any team, really. Like, I mean, if it was, I mean, probably I would mainly want Kings, but who cares?
Aaron Ekblad?
Ekblad, yeah.
Ekblad has been suspended for 20 games for violating the NHL's performance-enhancing substance program.
Great job, buddy. You did crack.
Wow.
Yep.
Careful.
Yeah, that was a really that was some huge
That's
news.
the one thing. Right now he's about 7. No, not 7 games. How many games? So this was about a week ago, last Monday.
Yeah.
So what? How many games have they played since then? Is the question. He's for.
He's had
He's on
up to
Florida.
that point. He's 29. I think he was. I want to say he was. I want to say he was like a first overall pick, I believe.
But yeah, I was trying to look to see. So that was 6 days ago.
That could be a big loss for Florida because I mean he's a good blue liner. So.
So as of 6 days ago, so he's been suspended 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Wait. 1, 2, 3.
I can only hope that
About
he'll get the
three-
help that he needs in there.
About 3 games.
Stuff like that.
Tonight, as of this recording, he will be suspended his 4th game. So he still has 16 more to go, which would put him, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 14. Oh, he would be suspended for the rest of the season. Because I pulled up May, and Owen can back me up on this.
Yep.
I pulled up May. There's no other games after April. So he is suspended if they make it to the playoffs, which...
If.
I said if. But when they go into the playoffs...
Yeah.
Because this guy does not like the standings right now. When they go to the playoffs, he'll be suspended for however many... Does it count in the postseason, or is it regular season games?
What do you mean? Oh, for suspensions?
Suspensions.
I mean, yeah. He would still be suspended in the postseason.
So he has at least 6 games after April. He would have at least 6 games that he would be suspended for. So he wouldn't be able to play for at least what? At least the first, maybe the first or second round.
Yeah.
I would say the first round because, well, I would say the second round because I feel like Florida will at least win the first round, and then
We'll see, yeah.
win the first round in at least 3 or 4 games, and then go on. But we'll see how it goes. But what other stuff do you have in the NHL?
I don't really have much else, but I do have this fun little thing here. So, so this guy on Instagram, Mbon Hockey, kind of a bit of a... His stuff's pretty good. So he recently made a list of the best traded first-round picks, and the first one I'll mention, and so there are a few of them from 2021 back to 2012. So I'll try to be quick about this. So first one was Ryan Johnston. His pick was traded from Washington to Dallas, and he was selected 23rd overall. 2020, Tim Stützle traded from San Jose to Ottawa, excuse me. Then Bowen Byram, his pick was traded from Ottawa, ironically, to Colorado. And then Calgary traded a first-round pick to the Islanders, which ended up being used to select Noah Dobson, 12th overall.
In 2018.
Yeah, in 2018. Then 2017, the Blackhawks traded a first to the Dallas Stars, which was used to select Jake Ottinger, 26th overall.
I was about to say, I was looking at the name, and I was like, is that Ottinger?
Otter. Come on, man.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
You're better at these hockey
2016,
names
not
than
sure
me.
who that is. 2015, Matt Barzal was a 16th overall pick, and he ended up, and his pick got traded to New York by the
Islanders.
Oilers. But the Islanders, not
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Where there's two different different teams,
Yeah.
we have to try and emphasize.
Yeah. Then Bo Horvat in 2013 his first round pick was going to be selected by New Jersey, but then they traded over to Vancouver.
I'm sorry, but how do you let Vancouver get 2 back-to-back years of trading?
Yeah, because there's a 2014, but I'm skipping over some of these, and 2012. This one always makes me laugh. I know specifically what happened in this trade. So Detroit wanted to get Kyle Quincy back, and so they traded him for a first-round pick to the Tampa Bay Lightning. You might have heard of them. And then,
Shut up.
And with that first-round pick, the Tampa Bay Lightning selected a guy. You might have heard of him. And And that player was our star netminder, Andrei Vasilevsky.
He has been great.
Hey, he's been amazing. But yeah, so
he's been great.
Out of all of these, hey, do not be dissing my boy.
I don't care.
Out of all of these, which team do you think is going to be kicking themselves the most because of the trade at first?
I would say the 2018 with Dobson. I could be wrong. I try to watch hockey as much as I can, and I keep up with you. See me. I've kept up with it quite a bit.
I don't think it's a Dobson. He's a great player. I mean, obviously you guys know who I'm picking. Obviously, I think Detroit is going to be kicking themselves most over losing Vasi because and this isn't even biased aside. Looking at what Vasilevsky has done with his amazing play. 2021, you could barely get past the guy. 2020, you couldn't get past the guy. He's an amazing goaltender. His jersey is going to be up in the rafters when he retires.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's Hall of Fame, but I personally say so because I'm biased. But exactly. I love the guy. And I think Detroit really could use him, especially after losing their other goaltenders. Guys like at the time, I'm pretty sure they were losing out Osgood to age and stuff like that. So I think Vasilevsky would have helped them. But hey, you know what? Stevie Y's scouts saved our team. Thank you.
It's funny how you're talking about the Lightning and everything, and look at what's in the background.
Hey, you might have heard of it.
Moving on to the NFL.
Finally, we'll talk about the NFL. There's been a lot.
It has been absolutely crazy. Of course, last week, as we had talked about, there were a few trades, there were a few signings during them, especially with the Cleveland Browns and Myles Garrett finally coming to an agreement there, which took forever.
Yeah, that was funny. It's just like, I won't play in Cleveland. I'll never play in Cleveland. Here, have some money. Okay.
They'll take it. Who knows what's going to happen? The deadline ended, I believe it was yesterday at 4 o'clock. And there was a lot going from throughout the whole entire week of that, or even the day of that. So, first to start off, I'm going to talk about my favorite team, the Cleveland Browns. They have traded Dorian Thompson-Robinson to the Eagles in exchange for Kenny Pickett. I think that is a great move. I think that is great. I loved DTR playing for our team. He did an amazing job. But having Kenny Pickett come in, considering he has done great in my opinion, even when he comes in as backup, if you'll watch, we will mention a couple specific teams that might have a lot of players leaving. And it's been crazy, but I think this could work out. But also Myles Garrett has hinted to in a recent interview that he did, he has hinted that there is a quarterback that might be really great, or that the Browns are interested in getting. I don't want to see that, but if that's their choice, that's their choice.
Especially after, and I know I say this every freaking episode, but especially after all the bad luck that they've had with drafting quarterbacks, it's very risky. But you know what? Maybe if they do draft a QB in the first round, it could work out well. You never know. It's not like he'll turn into the next Tom Brady, but
it could. And I had I had something earlier talking about Russell Wilson. He has visited the Cleveland Browns as well as he has visited the New York Giants. Who knows where he's going? He has been to Seattle, he's been to Denver, he's been to Pittsburgh. The question is now, is he going to stay in the AFC North or is he going to go over to the Giants in the NFC East?
And who'd you say it was again? The person you were talking about just now, who were you saying?
Kenny Pickett.
Kenny Pickett, okay. Yeah, and honestly, like I think I do agree that that him going to Cleveland is a good idea, especially considering the fact that quarterback was a big concern with the Browns. I mean, you had you had the man who must not be named.
Yeah,
I shot myself. I mean, he was horrible, and then famous Jameis was kind of a mess. And then DTR was DTR.
He was great.
I mean, it's one of those things that you really got to get right, especially as a team that's trying to rebuild after a horrible season. At the end of the day, I do want to see the Browns succeed.
As my cousin has said, and if you watched our episode or one of our last couple of episodes, he did comment on it. He calls them the Cleveland Clowns. I still call them the Cleveland Browns. But
I just say that they suck.
As he said, and I'm going to look past that comment because you're my podcast partner. As he has said, why would you be a quarterback that goes to a place that you basically go to ruin your career? In my opinion, it depends on how you play. I don't care what you have to say, whether the Cleveland Browns are the
Johnny Football.
He ruined his own career.
I know, I'm screwed.
But I wish the Browns wouldn't have draft or trade for more QBs, because it's not the QBs that are the problem with the team. I think it is more on the GM, CEO, coaching aspect of it, trying to figure out what to do. The QBs can be great whenever they decide to get a great player. It's just that something else gets in the way and forces the QB to leave. But we'll see.
The quarterback isn't the problem unless it's Deshaun Watson, of course. Screw that.
They just need to cut him.
They
I'm sorry that would get rid of.
Please go away.
I'm sorry that would get rid of a lot of money that they have to pay him out, but I would rather do that. And no,
he's got salmon on
he's
either
got
side, too.
The Browns have a better quarterback
And that's Diamond
than
Lake.
what we have right now.
Yeah, and speaking of quarterbacks, some big news out of Seattle. The Raiders have traded for Geno Smith.
Just one.
Wow,
Right.
that is some big news.
That's crazy.
And they traded him for a 2025 third-round pick.
There's a lot of other stuff that is going on as well. Geno Smith is a huge one for the Seattle Seahawks. They have lost, as we will reiterate, or we will cover a little bit later on in the episode, or a little bit later on in this stuff. There is a lot more of the Seattle Seahawks that have left the team.
Yeah.
And one of them, besides Geno Smith, is a major one in my opinion.
Yeah, but just my thoughts on the Geno Smith trade, in my opinion, I think it's a great trade for Las Vegas. I mean, their quarter, in my opinion, I think it's a nice move. I mean, their quarterbacks were a bit rough this year and stuff like that. I mean, they weren't like abysmal as say Tennessee. I was Tennessee.
Tennessee,
yeah, or New York, or the Jets, or the Giants, or the Browns, anyway. But shut up, we already had this discussion. But yeah, so I think it's a nice move, and Geno Smith, he's a good quarterback, so I think this could work out well, and stuff like that. I mean, the Raiders are certainly, they're building themselves up, and
really good.
I mean, with Pete, and Pete Carroll is going to be back at coach, so.
That was a shock to me.
Our king returns.
Tom Brady.
I love Pete Carroll.
Tom Brady.
He was awesome.
What have you started?
Tom Brady he's got somebody stop him. He's got mad with power.
Please.
The Super Bowl rings have gone to his head. He's throwing the Lombardi on a boat.
That's crazy.
I remember that meme when people were getting mad at him for that. It's like, dude, he's a quarterback and his job is to throw things to people who catch things. Calm down.
Deflategate.
Talking about his time in Tampa Bay, you bum.
Whatever. Next one that I have here.
Nothing to say when he beats the Chiefs, too.
Next one that I have here is Brandon Stevens, former. I don't know if he was wide receiver or whatever because he played for the Baltimore Ravens. Has agreed to a 3-year, $36 million contract with the New York Jets. The deal contains $23 million fully guaranteed. Deal negotiated by David What in the world? David Mulugeta, I guess that's how you say his name, of Athletes First. That is, I don't know if that's going to be huge or not. We'll see how it plays out for them.
This next move, I think it's going to be. It's
for your team.
It's very, very good for your Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Watch it now.
You get really offended about that. Oh my god. Anyway, so hey, you know what? Just kiss the rings. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have re-signed Chris Godwin on a 3-year, $66 million deal with $44 million guaranteed. Let's go, baby.
I can't get mad at that.
Let's go.
I can't get mad at that. Plus, you still have Mike Evans, which is amazing.
My man.
I'm telling you, he is going to beat Terrell Owens' record this season.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
Yeah, and I mean, Chris Godwin. I mean, he's a great player. I mean, he was injured a lot, but
hopefully he'll be fully healthy for y'all this year.
Definitely, because I mean, he's a fantastic player. And speaking of the Buccaneers, the Bucs have re-signed Levante David to a 1-year, $10 million deal to return for his 14th season as a linebacker. And I don't think that's too bad of a move. I like that.
And speaking,
it's pretty good. The Bucs also restructured Tristan Wirfs' contract to create about $19.8 million in cap space. So,
and
it's an interesting move.
And speaking of Buccaneers players, the Browns have acquired your offense. Why do I keep doing that?
This guy, and he craps on me for getting things wrong.
Outside linebacker Joe Tyron. The Browns have
Joe Tyron.
Shoyinka.
Hold on, I have another thing here. We don't know. Joe Tryon Shoyinka to a 1-year, $4.75 million deal. The former first-round pick recorded 15 sacks in 4 seasons with the Bucs.
Thank you.
That's not too bad.
Thank you, Buccaneers. I had a little fun with him when I saw that.
And I was just like, dude, I don't care.
I know.
Also because I was like half awake when I read it. I'm always half awake, so I think it's fine.
I know you are.
Yeah, okay, leave me alone. Some other really, really, really big news. The Buffalo Bills have made a great move in extending our Lord and Savior, Josh Allen, to a new 6-year deal worth $330 million with $250 million guaranteed. That honestly, I don't think anybody's going to be complaining. I mean,
oh no,
the Buffalo Bills. I mean, they're a team that's still trying to gun for more, and with Josh Allen, arguably one of the best quarterbacks in the league.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a Browns fan, but hands down, he is better than Patrick Mahomes, no doubt. Patrick Mahomes is only getting help because of the refs. That's the only reason why people would say he's probably the best one. But right now, in my opinion, hands down, Josh Allen is the best quarterback in the NFL. You can argue me on that.
Baker Mayfield.
Not even close.
I know. Also, by the way, like, this is just off topic, but I have a Kermit the Frog puppet, and so now I need a little Chiefs jersey for it, and like a little wig and a headband, and they'll bring him out and be like, "Hey, why are you not throwing a flag? You just looked in my direction. I need a flag for the Super Bowl." I don't know, my Kermit impression is kind of rough. I don't think it's not too bad, is it?
Speaking of,
it's like middle of the road, I'd say.
Yeah. Speaking of the Bills, we'll cover a little bit more on the Bills as well. Speaking of the Bills, the Patriots have agreed to terms with former wide receiver of the Buffalo Bills, Mac Hollins, on a 2-year, $8.4 million deal that maxes out at $10.4 million. I think that's a little... I don't know where they're saying it maxes out at $10.4 mil. That's a little low.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, he's been decent.
Yeah. And also, speaking of the Bills are releasing linebacker Von Miller.
That was a huge one that I saw. My jaw, when I first saw that, just absolutely dropped to the floor. I was not expecting that.
Me neither. But I mean, I think something that we both did expect was the Bills extending Khalil Shakir, wide receiver, to terms on a 4-year extension worth up to $16.2 million, $32 million guaranteed.
You said 60?
$60.2 million.
Jesus.
That's a move that exists, my friend.
Speaking of,
I think that's pretty good. I mean,
after what we saw,
he's been a great player.
After what we saw in the AFC Championship, how he played, holy cow, that is undoubtedly they should keep him.
Oh yeah. And I mean, I think that price tag that they're giving for him, I think that's pretty good. Wow, my phone is low on battery.
Speaking of the,
let me grab my charger.
Speaking of the Buffalo Bills, staying on the topic, Joey Bosa, former Chargers edge rusher.
Really?
Shut up. Former edge rusher for the Chargers has not signed a contract to link up with his brother, but he is going to the Buffalo Bills and is going to play for them. Is going to play for them. And for them losing, if the Bills decide to keep Von Miller, think of how hard it is going to be. Being an Ohio State fan myself, seeing the Bosa brothers connect. Watch it now.
Can you not? That was right in my ear.
Sorry. But
whatever, I got to do my have you heard of a bit, so
exactly. So it's only payback.
I know.
But seeing both Joey and Nick Bosa play at Ohio State, if you would have had both of the brothers together, I'm sorry, you were not getting past them.
Nope.
There's going to be so many sacks that they would have had combined.
At this point, the quarterback just might as well lay down and be like, "Hey,
I give up." I give up. But that is a huge. Hopefully, it works out for them. We'll see what other we have. Another one that I have is that former Falcons Pro Bowl defensive tackle Grady Jarrett was released.
Confused with Miles.
I said Jarrett.
Jarrett. Look,
not Garrett.
I'm tired.
Was released last Monday from Atlanta, and he is already, later on that day, already found a new home, reaching an agreement on a 3-year, $43.5 million contract deal, including $28.5 million fully guaranteed with Chicago. That is, I don't know what to say about that. That is
Sportsball.
That's pretty huge.
I don't know.
I think hopefully it works out for him.
Maybe he rebounds as a really good point guard. Helps the Yankees win the cup, win the Stanley Cup. Get Serena Williams her first green jacket. Go Sportsball, baby. Hey, look what? Hey, we're like 58 minutes in, and I haven't made a crappy joke. All right.
Touche.
It is my time.
Touche.
It is my time, Ronald. You must let me do this. Anyway, Deebo Samuels is also going to the Commanders. That's pretty dope.
Of all teams, I was not expecting him to go to Commanders.
I mean, hey,
Redskins, whatever you want.
I mean, hey, with the Commanders, they're a team. They're an up and coming team. I mean, with Jaden Daniels being a beast at quarterback.
Yeah.
I mean, the Hail Mary that he made. That was basically. I saw that as a sign that the Commanders are back.
And the memes from the one Chicago Bears player.
Oh my God! From him just taunting the fans.
And he was the one that tipped it.
He was the one that's supposed to catch it. He was the one supposed to stop it. Oh, dude! I'm telling you, man, the memes were amazing. The memes were so good.
It was crazy. I
love sports ball. But yeah, so Deebo Samuel's going to the Commanders for a 5th round pick, which is crazy.
He is worth more than that. I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. You give him a 5th round pick, you better throw in another player or a couple more picks after
Even
that.
Brock Purdy while you're at it. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Mr. Earl offense deserves better. But yeah, so I mean, having a guy like that to pair for your young quarterback, that's a great move. That's a great move by Washington. Now that they're free from the boogeyman, they are basically going to be. They're going to start becoming that team that was actually good. They're going to strike fear into the hearts of the NFC, and I'm honestly happy to see it. All right, I'm not a big Commies fan, like a Commanders fan, but I think it's a good move.
I was about to say, bud, be careful how you say that.
It was a bit from this guy that I watched. He calls him that, but yeah. So I think that's a great move by Washington. I think they're gonna be a lot more dangerous because of it.
We'll see. Next up that I have, going back to the Bills, I forgot about this one. Going back to the Bills, Bills reached an agreement with former Chargers wide receiver Josh Palmer on a 3-year, $36 million deal. That is going to be a pretty good one in my opinion. I'm just going to rapid fire off some of these a little bit. I'll give a couple more, and then if you find one, you're good.
Oh no, I have plenty that I may.
We both have a lot going on. The Broncos have signed Dre Greenlaw from the 49ers, and if I remember correctly, I think he was the one that got injured during that game or during the Super Bowl. I think it was last year. He was coming onto the field and ruptured his
I want to
Achilles.
say yes.
That's who we think it is. Write down in the comments if you know who it was. But they have signed linebacker Dre Greenlaw to a 3-year, $35 million deal. So he's going from the 49ers to the Broncos. Broncos have been good.
Yeah.
Don't know how well it's going to work out. Hopefully, it works out good.
And like with the Commanders, they're a team that's a bit more up and coming with a young quarterback. That's pretty good. I'm liking what Bo Nix is doing over there.
Oh yeah.
And speaking of players that ended up screwing up their leg, Texans Tank Dell will go through ACL surgery and will likely miss the 2025 season. I mean, that injury was really bad. I don't know if you saw it, but that was the Chiefs game. That was a really bad injury. I was very, very worried about him after that one. So
yeah, we both were watching the game.
I hope to see him recover. Recover well. That's going to be a tough loss for the Texans. Very, very tough loss.
Who knows? They've re-signed some good players this year, so who knows what can happen? Do you have another one?
I have another one. Speaking of the team that nobody likes, the Chiefs are signing quarterback Gardner Minshew.
You took the one I was going to talk about.
To a 1-year deal, and
as a backup.
No, really, I thought they were going to have him start over Patty Mahomes.
Who knows?
No way. But that's not a bad move.
You never know. He could have been done. He could do better.
I mean, he was a bit rough during his time in Vegas. So who knows? And speaking of
Vegas,
the Las Vegas Raiders are extending Max Crosby to a 3-year, $106.5 million extension with $91.5 million guaranteed, making him one of the highest paid defenders in the NFL. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good move. I mean, Crosby's a great player. I mean, he's been one of the better players on the Raiders. Do I think it should be that much money?
No.
Not really. But what do I know? I'm not a freaking GM.
We don't play for NFL teams.
I don't know. The most I've played is Madden, and I'm not very good at Madden.
But
it's also on my PS2.
But going to the Jets after they have, and we can confirm this, both of us have seen this, they have released Aaron Rodgers.
Yes.
From the team. So
he's going to become the next Jimmy Butler for our podcast.
I thought we weren't going to mention his name anymore.
I don't know. I forgot about that rule because I'm tired, but also because it's going to happen. It's going to be like, where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? Where's he going to go? And he's not, and he's going to be a whiny baby about it.
But you look back, Justin Fields, the backup for the Pittsburgh Steelers, is now being signed to the Jets
Not bad.
for a 2-year, $40 million deal with $30 million guaranteed.
Interesting move by the Jets.
I will say this, don't get mad. He is hooking back up with his former teammates from Ohio State
He's
University.
going to hook up with them. Okay, buddy. Wow.
Shut up.
Wow.
Gerrit Wilson.
Okay, that I don't need. Look, there are children that listen to this podcast. I don't think they need to hear that kind of debauchery.
He's getting back together with his old teammates, Gerrit Wilson.
Dude, come on. I'm just messing with you.
And that is going to be something that I was excited about. I saw that. In my opinion, you get Justin Fields and Gerrit Wilson back together, it's done.
Yeah, that's
You watched probably some of it. I don't know if you watched all of it, but you watched when Justin Fields and Gerrit Wilson were playing together. That's just a whole different.
Oh
team.
yeah. I think it's a pretty good move by New York. I mean, they're definitely going to want to get better at that quarterback position after a god awful season by Aaron Rodgers. So, I mean, do we even want to mention that?
No.
But
So
yeah,
let's.
So I think that's a very good move. I think that'll
It is.
definitely help them out a lot.
Speaking of the Jets,
And also, Gerrit Wilson is no longer seeking a trade with Aaron Rodgers out of the picture.
yes. So after
and-
he made that trade, after they said I think if I remember correctly, he originally said he wanted to be traded, but as soon as they released Aaron Rodgers, he
He's like,
rescinded that
actually, never mind. I
immediately.
kind of like you guys.
And now he gets to get back together and play again along his former quarterback to play. So
Yeah, and
we'll see.
and apparently he's seeking a new deal that will put him in the top 5 of highest paid wide receivers. And so that's not bad.
We have not seen anything on it quite yet, so by the next episode, hopefully, we'll hear something. Former Eagles cornerback Isaiah Rodgers reached an agreement on a 2-year, $15 million contract with the Minnesota Vikings. The deal includes $8 million guaranteed, which is absolutely crazy. And you will see throughout multiple of this, not only was Seattle the one to get hurt in this, but as you have seen, some of the Eagles have been hurt with this as well.
Yeah.
So, what do you have anything else?
Another thing for I have a lot. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, we both have a lot.
The New Orleans Saints are hiring Brandon Staley, former Chargers head coach, as their new defensive coordinator.
What?
Yeah,
What?
that is a move that is happening. Things will occur as a result. That is my current reaction. Go Sportsball.
Yes. Which is crazy. I think it would be great to have him as a defensive coordinator, but who knows?
Yeah. Also, the Raiders are still considering drafting a quarterback as early as the first round. So, what do you? I don't really know about that. I mean, now that you have Geno Smith, who knows? Who knows? I mean, maybe it'll end
Raiders
up
are
like
stupid.
that. I mean, remember when Michael Penix Jr. got drafted by Atlanta, and everybody was like, "Oh, why did you do that? You just signed Kirk Cousins." But it ended up being not a really bad move, considering the fact that Cousins fell off of a cliff, and Michael Penix was actually looking pretty good, pretty solid.
He did great. Kirk Cousins is still a great quarterback.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he didn't really have a very good season. His season was kind of rough.
Touche. Former
Wait,
Colts.
what?
I said touche.
Oh, I was about to say, hey, watch the language.
Former Colts Pro Bowl center Ryan Kelly reached an agreement with the Vikings on a 2-year, $18 million deal. As well, this one, kind of a little shocking to me.
Yeah.
Don't know the full specifics on this trade or the signing, but Dolphins are signing former Broncos quarterback Zach Wilson to a 1-year deal. Don't know what that deal includes, what the money is, or what the contract deal is, but that I think the only problem is he going to be the starter over Tua, or is he going to be a backup?
That's the question.
With Tua getting hurt so much, that's the only
they might be wanting to move on from Tua after all the injuries he's suffered, but I mean, you never know. I mean,
all the injuries or all the concussions?
that's what I meant. That's what I meant. All the
Yeah.
concussions, injury, concussions, same thing. But yeah, so I mean, with all the concussion stuff that he's been going through, And it is even if he's been solid at times, it is still possibly affecting his play. So that's something to consider. And so with this signing, they're probably doing that in case Tua just can't keep going.
Yeah.
And so they're like, hey, you know what? We got this starter now. But we'll have to see. And speaking of signings, quarterbacks. This was pretty big.
This is huge.
The Seattle Seahawks are signing former Vikings quarterback Sam Darnold to a 3-year deal worth nearly $100 million. I mean, that's insane. I mean, after he had a really good season with Minnesota, minus the minus the postseason, but whatever. The Vikings aren't known for doing good in the postseason. So I mean, it's a very interesting move, and now that Geno Smith is gone, I think him playing in Seattle, it could work out well. I think it's a very good move. I think it's a good move by Seattle. It'll be a tough loss for Minnesota, but we'll have to see.
But
I knew you liked little Minnesota.
That is going to be a huge one. Another big one, free agent cornerback Dante Jackson and the Chargers have reached an agreement on a 2-year, $13 million deal. That is pretty big. I don't know how well it's going to go, but we'll have to see in the near future. Another one was running back Javonte Williams agreed to a 1-year, $3 million deal to.
How about them Cowboys? I hate that team.
That one, I'm telling you, the Cowboys already have. I think they just last season they re-signed Zeke Elliott or got him back. They already have a great running back, so I don't understand why they're getting Javonte Williams.
Because Jerry sucks.
Williams should stay with the Broncos, in my opinion. But that's just me.
Trade him back for a first-round pick and Marc-Andre Fleury. Go Sportsball. Marc-Andre Fleury is a hockey goaltender, if you don't know. So another really big signing for Seattle was them signing wide receiver Cooper Kupp.
That one shocked me when I heard that the Rams. When I heard that the Rams were releasing him, I was sitting here thinking, "What in the blue heck are you doing?"
Why would you do that? Why in blue blazes?
That made me. I'm not a Rams fan, but that made me mad that they released Cooper Kupp.
That was a bad move in my opinion. And Cooper Kupp going to Seattle, that could work out very, very, very well for Seattle.
I think it would. Speaking of Seattle, Seattle is sending 2-time Pro Bowl wide receiver DK Metcalf to the Steelers.
I was trying to find that again because I saw
Steelers,
that. Yeah.
So the Seattle.
That's a big move.
That is huge. So the Steelers are sending a second-round draft pick to the Seahawks and flipping picks in the 6th and 7th rounds of this year's draft, which will be live. We'll be broadcasting live April 24th for the first round, so stay watching. I'm ready for that.
Hell yeah, buddy,
We don't know whether we'll be here at Flanagan's or we will be somewhere else at a different location watching it. We will keep you posted as the time comes up, which we've got almost a month. A little over a month until then.
If nothing else, I can see if we can do it at my house.
We'll see.
Because, I mean, I would do it at your place, but since I'm allergic to your cat and I don't want to take a Benadryl and be sleeping by the time, the 7th pick comes up.
I'll be drinking, so I'll be yawning half the time, so.
Maybe we should cool it here. So, another big move were the Baltimore Ravens signing DeAndre Hopkins, wide receiver, to a 1-year, $6 million deal.
That's a huge one.
Yeah, I think he can complement Lamar Jackson pretty well. So, you never know.
He could.
That's just my opinion. I don't know.
He's been great.
He's been good for that team that nobody likes.
So, the Broncos and former 49ers safety Talanoa Hufanga agreed to.
That's a buttery name.
Yeah, it's a weird name to even try and say. But they have the Broncos and Hufanga have agreed to a 3-year deal worth up to $45 million.
Try not to drop my microphone.
That should help out the Broncos, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
But
The Saints are also signing safety Justin Reed to a 3-year, $31.5 million deal with $22.5 million guaranteed. My computer just came down and hit me right in the shin.
For me, it's I had to laugh as well because the Chiefs gave away a pretty good safety to the Saints. Have fun, boys.
Yeah, buddy.
Former Commanders wide receiver Diami Brown is going to the Jaguars on a 1-year, $10 million deal with a max value of $12 million. That is going to be huge. I don't know if it's going to do very well. And going on to the Eagles losing the Super Bowl champions, losing another great player.
I wasn't trying to touch your elbow, by the way. I was trying to move the wire.
You're good.
But I missed it.
Safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson
Wow.
is
That's
going
a big
to the Texans in exchange for guard Kenyon Green. The Eagles will also receive a 2026 5th-round pick, and the Texans get a 2026 6th-round pick. That is, I don't know how to feel. First, you give up Kenny Pickett. Then you give up C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Who is next? This is
Jalen Hurts to Tampa Bay.
It's crazy how it goes.
Yeah.
Who do you have?
The Los Angeles Chargers. That it feels weird saying that.
Yeah.
It feels so weird. I don't like saying that. Ugh.
You know,
I prefer them being in San Diego. I don't know. It just sounds better. So the Chargers are extending Taylor Heineke, the quarterback, to a 1-year extension worth up to $6.2 million. It's a move.
Not
that
really
exists.
surprised. Yep.
Not too bad.
Former Dolphins safety Javon Holland is signing a 3-year or has signed a 3-year deal worth $45 million, including $30.3 million guaranteed with the Giants. That one is pretty big.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you go ahead.
Oh, okay. You're he's surprised already. The Pittsburgh Steelers are signing Mason Rudolph, a quarterback, to a 2-year, $8 million deal.
I'm sorry. The reason I'm laughing is because Mason Rudolph started off in Pittsburgh, got traded or went to free agency and signed with the Tennessee Titans, and now he's back in Pittsburgh.
He's like, hey guys, can I come back now?
And if you don't know, a few years ago, I believe it was during the COVID era, is when Myles Garrett and Mason Rudolph got into a fight, and Myles Garrett hit Mason Rudolph with his own helmet.
I want to see that. I got to find that video.
Trust me. It was crazy.
Crazy, man.
It was crazy. Former Rams wide receiver Demarcus Robinson is signing a 2-year deal, $9.5 million deal, including $6 million fully guaranteed with the 49ers.
Ooh.
That one is huge.
Yeah.
We'll see how that one goes.
Another interesting thing is apparently Ashton Janty, the NFL prospect, he has got a lot of supporters with the Las Vegas Raiders. So the Raiders are apparently looking at trying to pick him up.
I don't know if they need a running back. They need a running back, but I think Ashton Janty can go to a better team.
I mean, if he's what they need, he's who they'll look for.
We'll see. Former cornerback for your Super Bowl champions, the Philadelphia Eagles, Darius Slay agrees to terms with the Steelers on a 1-year, $10 million fully guaranteed deal with the Steelers. Of all teams, the Steelers. And this is what I was talking about earlier with the Eagles losing a lot of some of their players. I don't want to say it's a lot, but they're losing some of their players, as well as going to Jacksonville. Former Jacksonville Jaguars tight end Evan Ingram is signing a 2-year deal with the Broncos. Don't have what the contract deal entitles, but he is signing with them. Who else do you have?
Panthers are expected to sign former Raiders star safety Trayvon Moehrig to a 3-year, $51 million contract. I don't think that's too bad of a move by the Panthers. What do you think?
This one, I think it would be a good move, but we'll see how that pans out.
Yeah.
The Panthers need quite a bit of people to help them out.
Especially with their young quarterback. Actually, he's
no pun intended.
Yeah. Bryce Young. He's starting to develop a little bit more.
Hopefully.
I mean, he isn't perfect, but he's getting there, and so that's all you can really ask for.
This one I think you'll be shocked with.
What?
Former Pro Bowl guard for the Detroit Lions, Kevin Zeitler, is signing a 1-year, $9 million deal with the Tennessee Titans.
You're kidding.
I'm sorry.
You're kidding.
But why
Wow.
the hell? I'm sorry, but why the hell are you getting out of Detroit? You are in a great place.
Wow.
And you decide to leave and go to the Tennessee Titans. You better
That's
be
wild, man.
You better be good on that offensive line. So,
also, some other news: the Bills are extending DeMar Hamlin,
which is good. He's been
on
great,
a 1-year
especially
contract extension. I mean, yeah, you'll love to see it.
Especially, he's been great, especially after that little scare that he had big scare that he had a few years ago. And it's great to see him back on the field, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, after that, it's really scary. You know, you want to make sure he's okay.
This one
with him coming back, it's good to see with the Bills.
Yeah, this one, I am shocked that this actually happened, in my opinion.
Wow.
Former Cowboys defensive end DeMarcus Lawrence is signing a 3-year deal with the Seahawks worth up to $42 million with $18 million guaranteed.
Crazy.
I was not expecting him to lead the Cowboys at all.
Yeah, no, that's a giant move.
And that is going to be a huge loss for the defensive side of the Cowboys. So now the question is, with him leaving, do you think they're going to try and trade up to go get Abdul Carter, an edge rusher?
I think it's possible. I mean, with such a guy leaving, they're gonna wanna get some more youth into that area and stuff like that. So I think it's very possible that the Cowboys do this. And I mean, I think this also shows that the Seahawks are loading up. They're trying to make it back to the postseason after failing to make it. So I think Seattle, they're making some giant moves. So we're gonna have to. I'm excited to see what they do this coming season. It could blow up in their face. It could turn out to be a godsend. So I'm liking what Seattle's doing so far, but we'll have to see. We will definitely have to see how they do this coming season.
Next one that we have here.
The Chargers are signing Mike Williams, a wide receiver, to a 1-year, $6 million deal. That is not a bad deal.
Formerly from the Pittsburgh Steelers. As well as the Raiders are getting something that is something I would have never seen either.
Wow.
So the Raiders are signing former Dolphins running back Raheem Mostert to a 1-year it's only worth that much. A 1-year, $2.1 million contract.
That's a bargain. That's a nice bargain.
But he is worth more than that, in my opinion.
Hey, I mean,
he's better, and that's the thing that I was talking about earlier.
If it's a cheaper contract and you're that GM, you take that.
It was just kind of like what you were talking about earlier with like them getting like possibly going for Ashton Genty. That's what I'm saying. They got Raheem Mostert now. Great running back. I don't think they need Ashton Genty in there.
Yeah. But yeah, so like I definitely agree, and I mean like I said, that's a good bargain, and so like I think that's a nice sign of what's going. You said he went to the Vegas Raiders, so
Yep.
like like with the Seahawks, Raiders are loading up. They're getting a lot, like they're getting way better pieces, and with a seasoned veteran coach. I'm liking what the Raiders are doing. I think they're going to be pretty good next season. I don't think they're Super Bowl caliber yet, but I think that they're going to be in the running to get a wild card spot maybe, but we'll have to see. I'm liking what Seattle and I'm liking what Vegas are doing, but time's going to tell.
We'll rapid fire some of these next few picks. I'll let you start off first.
The Philadelphia Eagles are signing Adoree Jackson, a cornerback. That's it. There are no details on that.
Formerly from the New York Giants. Eagles have also agreed to terms with tight end Kylan Granson on a one-year deal. Don't have any specifics on that one, which should be help.
Chargers signing Mekhi Becton, offensive lineman. No more details on that.
From the Eagles.
Just take everything from Philadelphia. Oh my God. They're gonna collapse.
This one, it's good that they are. It's good that this team is doing it.
How do you even say that last name? Oh my goodness.
I think it's Juszczyk. Something like that. But the 49ers are re-signing fullback Kyle Juszczyk. He has re-signed. There were rumors and a lot of talks going around saying that he was going to get, with his free agency, he was going to get out of the 49ers. But speaking of 49ers,
I like that move.
And his teammate.
Speaking of the 49ers, we both went for the Niners.
I'll let you go first. So he's got one for the 49ers.
So with the 49ers, they are signing quarterback Mac Jones to a 2-year, $7 million deal.
What is it? This is his third team because he started out with New England. Then he went to Jacksonville, and now he's on.
Right, Team Hobo.
Now he's on the 49ers.
And now with what you were telling me.
But what I was saying with Juszczyk having his former teammate, the 49ers are trading running back.
I can't see it. There it is. Never mind. Oh, wait. Which running back? Okay.
49ers are trading running back Jordan Mason to the Vikings. That is pretty big. And let me tell you, there's still that is all that we have right now. Now, some of the players that we have had throughout, that we have seen throughout the trade deadline or the free agency deadline, there is going to be more signings. We just don't know where they're going to go. Currently, right now, I know there's some, like with the Von Miller one that we had talked about earlier. He is technically a free agent, but we also... Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah.
One more to add on there.
Yeah. The New England Patriots are signing former Jets offensive tackle. Excuse me. Sorry. Why did I read that as overtime? I'm stupid. It's OT. Who cares? Offensive tackle Morgan Moses.
That's huge.
That's a pretty good move.
It's going to be a good move
by New England.
But as we look towards what is happening, speaking of like with Von Miller and the Buffalo Bills releasing him, that doesn't mean they have said that they are offering to re-sign him, so anything could happen. The trade deadline is done for the offseason for now, for the NFL. But there is other stuff that could happen between now and then. So some of these free agents that we have mentioned that have been released from the team or have not completely signed a contract that we did not mention, they could have something coming up in the next few months, especially with the draft happening in the next year. Who knows what could happen? I'm hoping to see something well, and I honestly cannot wait for the draft to come around because it's going to be huge. So we'll see how it goes. Do you have any closing comments or anything?
I actually have I have a little game for you, right? A little game. So, guess the season when all these teams were champions of their respective leagues. World Series champions, the New York Yankees. NBA champions, the Los Angeles Lakers. Stanley Cup champions, the New Jersey Devils. And Super Bowl champions, the Baltimore Ravens.
2012?
Nope. I went no because the Devils didn't win it in 2012. So
Huh? So it had to be before that.
yes, and the Yankees didn't win it in 2012 either. So going off of my knowledge with the Devils, I know that they won it in 95, 2000, and 2003. So
It has to be 2003 then.
yeah. I'm running with 2003 because I do believe the Yankees won it then.
But also both of those with the Yankees and then the Lakers. Lakers obviously still had Kobe Bryant at the time before all that trade and everything happened. Who knows? So some people are saying 2000 season, some people are saying
It's 2000 actually.
It may be.
Yeah. Because I do remember the Yankees won it in the year 2000.
who knows?
So,
But-
no, that's part of the game. We're supposed to get it right.
Okay.
I don't know. People are saying 2000.
They're saying all over the
Who
place.
cares? Everybody wins Sportsball. Go Sportsball team or fire. Yeah, Sportsball.
We will try and keep posted on everything else coming up in the next few weeks, as well as join us. I don't know what time the draft is. I'll have that next time for you on our next episode. But join us live as soon as the draft starts, if not beforehand. And hopefully we'll see. It's going to be huge. We will do live reactions, and I think it's going to be huge. It's going to be
a
crazy
crazy draft. We're gonna
We
have,
both had the exact same word that we were thinking.
yeah, it's going to be a big draft. Cam Ward, a former goaltender of the Carolina
you
Hurricanes,
son of a
might go
gun.
first overall. You know the joke had to be made because screw you. Also, like and subscribe. Follow our social media because we have an Instagram and go Sportsball!